I would like to talk about a law that you have probably never heard of before. It is called the law of assumption decay. It was discovered by an author named Brian Tracy in his book, No Excuses. In this book, he discusses how the longer you wait to take action towards your goals, the more difficult it becomes to do so. Because every day you put off pursuing your dreams, they begin to die inside of you. Every time you wake up and choose not to go after what you want, the desire for it begins to fade away until eventually you no longer feel any motivation or inspiration to pursue it at all. This is something we've all experienced before. Maybe you had a dream when you were young, but now you're older and you're not doing anything to try to make that dream a reality. Or maybe there's something you've always wanted to do, but the longer you wait, the less likely it seems that you'll ever actually do it. This is because of the law of assumption decay. This happens because our brain loves to categorize experiences based on emotions. When we are faced with a new experience, our brain will file it away into one of 6 categories, depending on how we feel about it. These categories are good, bad, beautiful, ugly, important, or unimportant. The problem is that the longer we wait to take action towards something, the more likely it is to be filed away in the unimportant category. This means that your dreams and goals begin to fade away over time until eventually you no longer feel any desire to pursue them. If you're not careful, this can happen to everything in life. Your relationships, your career, your health, and even your happiness. But the good news is that this is something that can be avoided if you know how to do it. So let me tell you a few ways that you can keep the law of assumption decay from ruining your dreams. Number 1, act now. The first way to avoid the law of assumption decay is to simply act now. Don't wait until tomorrow or next week or next month. If you want to do something, then do it now. For example, if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, don't just keep putting it off. Start today. Even if you don't know anything about YouTube, just start learning today. The same is true for everything else in life. If you want to achieve something, then don't just sit around and wait for it to happen. Take action towards your goals right now. Number 2, make it easy on yourself. Another way to avoid the law of assumption decay is to make it easy on yourself. Don't set yourself up for failure by making your goals too difficult. Instead, break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if you want to lose weight, don't just say to yourself, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days. That's a very difficult goal to achieve and you're setting yourself up for failure. Instead, break it down into smaller steps. Maybe you could start by walking for 30 minutes every day. Then after you've achieved that goal, you could move on to the next step, which might be jogging for 30 minutes every day. By breaking your goals down into smaller steps, you make it much more likely that you'll achieve them. This is because when we achieve small goals, it creates a sense of momentum which makes it easier to achieve larger goals. On the other hand, when we fail to achieve a large goal, it can create a sense of hopelessness, which makes it much more difficult to achieve smaller goals. Number 3, keep your eyes on the prize. The third way to avoid the law of assumption decay is to keep your eyes on the prize. Don't get distracted by all the other possibilities that are out there. Focus on your goal and don't give up until you achieve it. Let's say that your goal is to become a successful YouTuber and post content. There are going to be a lot of distractions along the way. There are going to be people who tell you that it is not worth your time or that you will never be successful. Don't listen to them. Keep your eyes on the prize and don't give up until you achieve it. Remember, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It's the one that is most adaptable to change. So keep your eyes on the prize and be willing to make changes along the way in order to achieve it. Number 4, associate with winners. The fourth way to avoid the law of assumption decay is to associate with winners. This means that you need to surround yourself with people who are achieving their goals and living the life that you want to live. This is because the people you spend the most time with will have the biggest influence on your own behavior. If you spend time with losers, then you're more likely to become a loser yourself. But if you spend time with winners, then you're more likely to become a winner yourself. So if you want to avoid the law of assumption decay, make sure you surround yourself with positive people who are achieving their goals. Number 5, use positive self-talk every day. The fifth way to avoid the law of assumption decay is to use positive self-talk. This means that you need to get rid of all the negative thoughts in your head that are holding you back from achieving your goals. For example, if you want to lose weight, don't keep telling yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not motivated enough. Instead, replace those thoughts with positive ones. Say things to yourself like, I am getting healthier every day, or I am losing weight and keeping it off. Positive self-talk can be a very powerful tool in helping you avoid the law of assumption decay. When you use positive self-talk every day, you create a positive feedback loop which makes it easier to achieve your goals. On the other hand, when you use negative self-talk, you create a negative feedback loop which makes it more difficult to achieve your goals. So if you want to avoid the law of assumption decay, make sure you are aware of your self-talk and that you are using positive self-talk to help you achieve your goals. And number 6, visualize success. The final way to avoid the law of assumption decay is to visualize success. This means that you need to spend some time each day visualizing yourself achieving your goals. This can be a very powerful tool in helping you avoid the law of assumption decay, because it helps you focus on your goals and it helps you believe that you can achieve them. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, you send a message to your subconscious mind that says, "Yes, I can do this." This creates a positive feedback loop which makes it easier to achieve your goals. On the other hand, when you don't visualize yourself achieving your goals, you send a message to your subconscious mind that says, "Maybe I can't do this." This creates a negative feedback loop which makes it more difficult to achieve your goals. So if you want to avoid the law of assumption decay, make sure you spend some time each day visualizing yourself achieving your goals. In conclusion, the law of assumption decay is a very real phenomenon that can affect everyone. It can cause your dreams and goals to fade away over time, until eventually you no longer feel any desire to pursue them. However, there are ways to avoid this happening to you. By following the tips I shared today, you can keep the law of assumption decay from ruining your dreams. Remember, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. So don't let the law of assumption decay defeat you. Instead, use these tips to ensure that your dreams never fade away. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We would love to have you join our community.